An Egyptian court has ordered the release of former President Hosni Mubarak over the deaths of hundreds of protesters during the revolution that toppled him in 2011. The ruling came Monday after his lawyer successfully won an appeal claiming Mubarak had spent the maximum time in prison under temporary detention. The decision doesn't mean Mubarak will be released from custody, however, as local media outlets report on the investigation into multiple separate corruption charges continue. Those include misuse of funds allocated for the renovation of presidential palaces. According to RT, some Egyptian news outlets initially incorrectly reported that Mubarak had been acquitted of any culpability in the murder of protesters. But Al Arabiya later reported no such ruling had been announced and that Mubarak's parole was still under discussion. Despite remaining in custody, several media outlets note the ruling is significant as it relates to a charge of conspiring to kill more than 800 nonviolent protesters. A brother to one of those protesters raised his concern over the latest development, telling CNN, "The government is not giving us the moral support we need, and they're allowing this circus of a trial to continue. We were hoping for a death sentence, but the way it's going, we may see Mubarak free, which means my brother died for nothing." The 84-year-old Mubarak, who led Egypt for 3 decades with the help of the military, has spent the last 2 years in prison after he and former Interior Minister Habib al-Adli were accused of orchestrating mass killings during the 2011 uprising. No final conviction has yet been given, and the original sentence of life in prison last June has been replaced with a retrial, reportedly due to procedural failings. And on Saturday, the controversy in Egypt rose again as a retrial was dramatically abandoned after the presiding judge withdrew from the case just moments after the trial began, citing his discomfort with overseeing the proceedings. The deaths during the 2011 uprising were largely blamed on the police, but last week a report was leaked which implicated the army in serious human rights abuses, including the killing and torture of protesters. The BBC reports the leaked documents contain testimony relating to civilians detained at military checkpoints who were never seen again, and reports that the army delivered unidentified bodies to coroners. An appeals court now has 60 days to appoint a new judge in the Mubarak retrial. In the meantime, the former Egyptian president remains in custody at a military hospital. For Newsy, I'm Christian Bryant. Multiple sources, a broader view.